Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Brahma Bulletin. I'm the Bullish Brahma, and I'm here to tell you everything San Antonio Brahmas. Before we begin, I would like to wish everyone a happy, safe, joyous, and prosperous New Year. In today's video, I'm be going over the supplemental draft that was held on the 1st of January 2023. As background, the XFL held its draft on November 16th and 17th of 2022. 1st, 2023, the XFL supplemental draft took place. The draft pool consisted of players who were previously ineligible to be drafted, as well as players who were not selected during the XFL November 16th and 17th draft. The process style occurred in a snake-style format for all positions. Teams took turn drafting players with the pick order reversing each round until each team had padded their roster to the 66 players who will join the team in training camp. The Brahmas selected second in the supplemental draft, and they were to keep selecting until they reached their 66-man roster limit. So what players did we need in the draft? Well, I read a couple articles from two different individuals. One suggested that we needed linebacker help, and another article, the guy suggested that we needed wide receivers. He felt we had a great running team. Dare I say we had a good running of the Bulls? Moving along. So he suggested that we get wide receivers. Now, did we address those needs in the supplemental draft? Well, I guess that really depends. We did draft a wide receiver, and we did draft a couple of linebackers. Now, we'll see how these drafts pan out. It was pretty evenly drafted out, where we had a few offensive tackles and some defensive line tackles and linebackers. It's pretty evenly split between the two, offensive and defense, but we'll see how that goes. So there are a few players I would like to highlight in this year's draft. The first one is Delonte Scott, linebacker from SMU. The reason why I want to highlight that person is that he is an SMU graduate, and that happens to be my wife's alma mater. So go Perky Ponies. The second one I would like to highlight is Sean Williams Jr., the defensive back out of Navy. The reason why I like to highlight him is because he is a fellow Squid. I just happened to retire from the Navy a few years ago, and it's good to see a fellow sailor on the draft. As I mentioned previously, the XFL supplemental draft gave an opportunity for those players who were ineligible or those that were not drafted back in November to be drafted this time around. Specifically, we're looking at those players who played in the USFL. Their contracts expired on the 31st of December 2022, and now they were able to be drafted into the XFL. So, did the Brahmas select anybody from the USFL? Sean Williams, cornerback. And then scrolling down later, we have Cody Brown, safety. Reggie Corbin, running back. Devin Ross, wide receiver. And that's it. That's the XFL supplemental draft. So the next step in the process is training camp, and that's going to be held January 8th, 2023 in Arlington, Texas. So we'll see how things go from here. Right now, the Brahmas have their roster of 66 people, and during training camp, that's going to be trimmed down to 50 personnel. And we'll see who makes the team, who gets cut. Whoever gets cut and doesn't make the team, I wish them the best of luck. You never know. Perhaps the XFL will take off, which I'm hoping it does, and maybe it will expand. We'll see it go from 8 teams to 10, 12, 16, who knows? And if the XFL does succeed and expand, that just means more roster spots for players that were not drafted or were drafted and didn't make the cut, and gives them an opportunity to try again. And maybe they can go back into the USFL. You got the IFL, which is the minor league team of the XFL. So there are opportunities out there for the players who did not make the team. But we'll see how it goes. I'm really rooting for everybody, and I'm really super excited to see this team grow and to watch the players and track their progress and see how they all do. I can't express enough how excited I am. Kickoff is right around the corner, February 18th, and I think the next thing is they're probably going to be coming out with a schedule. At least we're hoping that they come up with a schedule, because right now we don't know who plays who, and fans and like myself, we're chomping at the bit to find out who's going to play who. So really excited. All right, San Antonio, that's all I have for right now. Until the next time, keep your horns pointed up.